Midweek games that are not European games. We had action across the Premier League, the DFB Pokal, as well as in the La Liga. Welcome to Football Analysis on SEETV. My name is Omolaba Karaji. And you know how we do. We're talking about happening news in the world of football, happening games that went down, as well as some interesting tidbits happening in the world of football as well. I'm not doing the show alone. Of course, you're going to get to see who it is I am with in a bit. But of course, you can be a part of the conversation across our different social media platforms. On Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, we are there at SEETV Live. And on Instagram and TikTok, we are there at SEETV Live 1. I'll be going on a very short break. When I return, you get to see who is joining me on today's show. Stick around, I'll be right back. Hey there, so you think you know about football? Join me, Omolaba Karaji, on SEETV every Tuesdays and Thursdays and put your football knowledge to the test. You stand a chance to win up to 5 gigabytes of data. All you have to do is to follow us across our social media handles and answer the question on there correctly. To participate on the live quiz show, our handles are on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. It is at SEETV Live, and on Instagram and TikTok, it is at SEETV Live 1. So if you think you know about football, this is the... Welcome back. It is the Football Analysis on SEETV. I've got with me on the show Ibrahim Ayoviojo, and I will not be mentioning the
Easy
nickname.
Baba, #1. She's going to mention it. I'm going to mention it for you people. How you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I'm fine. Oh, it's somebody, but we're here.
We do what we have to do.
We do what we have to do. Yeah.
Okay, let's start with the DFB Pokal with Bayern Munich. They went behind in that game, but part of I think we all kind of knew that they were going to get something in that game.
Definitely.
How much goals they were going to score was a different ball game. But hey, Augsburg 2, Bayern Munich 5. That game, the goal they actually considered was a very good goal.
Yeah,
to mention.
An amazing long ranger. Like with your left foot, it was so precise. Very, very nice. Dim 1-0. Then before you could say anything, 1-1. Then I don't want to go far, please, because Bayern actually were meant to have won that game at least 11 goals.
No, how about 15?
Or 12 goals. I'm just saying, because after the match, Alfonso Davies was like, yeah, we are not going to allow them beat us on the back-to-back, because they beat us prior to the season starting.
Yeah.
Remember during the a friendly match. It was a friendly match.
I think it was a friendly game.
It was Bundesliga already. Yeah, it was in the season.
I'll need to confirm that.
Yeah, so they got beat by the same Augsburg. So as the game started, 9 minutes in, whoa, what a goal! Are we going to have a deja vu? Well, no, there's no deja vu in this. There are plenty goals.
And that was where it was at. Let's talk about the dominance of Bayern Munich. Like you did say rightly, they could have gotten more goals in that one because they had more than enough chances in front of goal. Let's look at the statistics there. You had Augsburg having 8 goals, 8 shots in total, and then 3 on target. And you had Bayern having 28 shots in total, 15 on target.
When I said 11,
but even though, upon though, but shout out to Bayern Munich, the goal scorers. We had Mats Pedersen, what a beautiful goal. Yeah. The opener for Augsburg, and then you have Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting pulling one back for Julian Nagelsmann's side. 1-1 it was, and you had Bayern doubling their lead, Joshua Kimmich. What a beauty of a goal. 2-1 it was, and then you had Choupo-Moting doubling that, so making it 3-1. Upamecano, unfortunately, was the man who put the ball in his own net.
Butcher's finish. Am I hard?
Still, that was an own goal for Augsburg. 3-2. We're like, is there something more exciting in this game going to happen? Bayern didn't want more excitement, at least for Augsburg. They scored 2 additional goals and ended that one 5-2. 7-goal thriller. It was a beauty to watch. Augsburg might have felt unlucky in that one because they also maybe the stats, of course, it was all Bayern, but Augsburg also had their moments, and at some point in that game, it looked like they could have gotten something, perhaps a 1-0 draw, begging for a 3-0 draw.
No, that 3-3 is not happening. See, fine, they could have gotten more goals other than the 2 goals they got accepted because they played well. They created chances for themselves, numerous chances. And kudos to the man between the sticks for Bayern Munich. But that is not really what Bayern Munich were all about. Sadio Mane was very unlucky not to get a goal at least.
Absolutely.
Musiala had just 1 goal, whereas he could have had an hat-trick. I can't say. How about Maxim Choupo-Moting?
As well.
Could have had an hat-trick.
Gnabry as well also had his
Gnabry,
moments.
yeah.
Leroy Sané as
Leroy
well
Sané
also had his moments.
yeah,
So he could have been more goals.
Alfonso could have had more than that one goal too. He had a goal and an assist. Maximum people Martin 2 goals and 1 assist. They shared it between themselves. Look at Thomas Muller, big man coming in like he was already
supplying
in the
the
game.
assist as usual.
As you see, let's be truthful, right? The DFB Pokal, I don't know. Well, it's just like the FA Cup, right? To an extent. So you have big boys playing against the mid boys. Then the mid boys also playing against the minors. Apparently, they went to go and pair Bayern Munich with the minor to an extent because should have been like 12, as I said before. Could have been more.
I don't think Augsburg would appreciate that. But Bayern won that one 5 goals to 2. It was, let's look away now from Bayern Munich Augsburg encounter. Let's talk about Hannover 96 taking on Borussia Dortmund. Beg your pardon, Dortmund decided to give us something. And it looked like we knew they needed to give us, what's it called now? Something off of that very interesting game they had over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm not getting maximum point. Dortmund did not even show sparks, but they lost to Union Berlin that one. But this time around, returning to winning ways, even though it's not in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
It is the DFB Pokal, but it has to be momentum for Tegis's side.
Yeah, momentum gained, and two good goals. Like there was an own goal. Yusufa Mukoko inspired own goal, and then Bellingham came in, was brought down in the box, converted the penalty himself, took a clean sheet. There was not much Hannover could do in that game. They were just overwhelmed to an extent. Even with Bayern Munich, with Edin Terzic not starting his main boys, they still had firepower to pressure them for the whole game. And Donny O'Malley was unlucky not to get a goal. Julian Brandt, magical as usual. Jesus Reina getting minutes after always being on the bench. Gio Reyna is still not back from injury, but I still wonder. I still wonder, like, okay, Adeyemi, you got yourself sent off, right? And you are supposed to be a striker. How did you get there?
It reached to us.
How did you get there? That you're the last person dragging the player down? Probably because they were having the space in the other place. That one is not too hard or to.
It was most definitely the unlikeliest of players to get sent off.
Exactly. So the bad part about it is that red card also translates to the Bundesliga. So he's going to be out the next games. Well, at least they have Donny Malen, as I just said. They have Yusufa Mukoko is still there. Julian Brandt. You have Antonio Modesti. Those guys have players. Come on, they have players. Torgan Hazard is still there. Like, hello. Even if their main man, the man they bought to come and get the goals, is not yet here for us. I'm talking about Sebastian Haller. So still good for Edin Terzic. I enjoy his football. I enjoy his guys, and kudos to them. Let's see how far they can get in the Pokal.
Let's see how far it is they're going to be getting away from the action happening in the DFB Pokal. Let's talk about now the La Liga, shall we? Elche taking on Real Madrid. Elche have been quite unlucky, and they never get anything over Real Madrid, and this has been going on for decades. We should mention Elche nil, Real Madrid 3, and talking about the 3 goals, it should have been more than that. It's without dominating how gay-ish Real Madrid were. Talking about Ancelotti's boys, they were everywhere. Had about 4 goals chopped off.
Yeah.
Rightly so, I should mention. That was just how clinical they were, but they were not able to get their timing, their runs right, offside for about 4 of the goals. 3, Federico Valverde, the goal scorer, the first man to open. Just turned the lock. Federico Valverde, what a shot, what a goal. Karim Benzema as well, and Marco Asensio, who doesn't know how to score boring goals apparently. So
now you agree with me, Abi.
I've never disagreed about that. I would just like to see Asensio, come good on a consistent basis. He's a player that I think he has the sparks, but it's unfortunate that this is about 4 years on, we still keep referring to him as a player who has potential. Like I'm ready to see the potential now.
I feel this is the injury. I've told you before, injury derailed like whatever I was going to bring to us. Injuries was not friendly on him, and change of managers as well. Change of managers is not going to be nice on every player, because there are players that they are the previous manager's favorites, or that the previous manager that was one signed them, like, oh, come to my team, you can blossom in my team, you can do well in my team. And I feel that is the case with Marco Asensio. He's a good player. Both like he works well with both foot. Like amazing shot power on it. But I'm not seeing him as the potential guy. Still, I see him like the super sub to an extent for Real Madrid. You don't have Rodrigo, Goes, and Vini and Benzema, and you expect Asensio to start. Those guys have been firing on all cylinders for the past 2 seasons.
My point exactly. To be nice to see
He was
Asensio also
he was
fire.
injured half of those 2 seasons.
True, and yes, injuries have not been fair on him, absolutely. Yeah. But of course, times when he does come on, it shows sparks of brilliance. It does. Yeah. When he gets his goal, it's always beautiful. If it's not on the score sheet, assist. He's always bringing something to the attack, and I'm sure Carlo Ancelotti says that, and there's a reason why he's getting minutes over Eden Hazard, absolutely.
To an extent,
Real Madrid.
I didn't talk about the Madrid game though. I just talked about Asensio. No, I'm sorry because I just I'm sorry.
You needed to bail him out, right?
Yeah, I needed to bail him out, and I feel like Real Madrid, right? It's going to be. Now I see it clearly. It is going to be hard to beat Real Madrid this season. It is truly going to be hard. The Real Madrid of before, they are compact in every what's it called, every position. Is it the defense? Is it the midfield? Is it the goalkeeping? And don't mention the attack, please. They've had the best attacks for decades upon decades, and now they still have it. But right now they just don't have it. Their midfield is choked.
The level of excitement in that middle of the park. You have age, you have experience, you have youth. You have speed, you have
everything, agility,
everything,
and especially
basically.
flair and precision. Those guys are
blessed. Apparently, there's Camavinga.
Look at that Asensio's goal. It was a beautiful pass from Traoré to release Rodrigo. It was Rodrigo. Rodrigo got 2 assists yesterday. So release Rodrigo one time to Asensio. Bam! This is textbook football. Textbook football, but you cannot stop it.
Unfortunately, it's going to take some level of brilliance as well to be able to match Real Madrid. I mean, Barcelona weren't able to undo the firepower they threw at them. Yeah. Talking about the El Clasico now, but Real Madrid have extended their lead at the top, the summit of the La Liga table. Absolutely, but hey, VR said no because the guy was offside. Yeah. Real Madrid have now 28 points after 10 games played. Barca 22 points, 9 games played. They played this evening. Okay, they take on Mallorca, and it's going to be very exciting.
Barcelona take on Villarreal later today.
Beg your pardon, Real Sociedad played Mallorca. An error from me there. So let's see what Barcelona will be doing this evening. Let's see if they will be able to put a bit of pressure on Real, and if they continue in this stead, it's definite. Like we do know that someone somewhere will drop points. And there could be still some swap going on at the summit.
There has to be some swap. It has to happen because we are not going to be looking at Madrid just go all the way. It is
the way they did last season.
The way they did last season, and as beautiful as it is for Madridistas, it is not beautiful for the rest of the La Liga teams. Come on, let us have a competition.
At all.
Let Barca do something. Let Atletico do something. Valencia and Sevilla are nowhere to be found for now. So let's just those 2 I mentioned do something.
And let's see if Villarreal will be able to cause Barcelona problems.
Yeah, Villarreal.
This evening it's going to be very interesting to see. Let's see. Barca are wounded.
With a very gentle man, the man I really respect.
Emery. And for me, I think you and I agree that Barcelona have got to respond. The way they capitulated against Real over the weekend, there has to be something. Xavi, I'm just imagining what the words, perhaps the kind of para is going to give his boys, because it was the way they felt like a pack of cards. Every time the ball went in on Real Madrid's goal, in quick 1-2 passes, they're back in goal against Barcelona, and they just couldn't handle that much pressure, basically. And one should ask, considering how much investment was made over the summer, what's going on? Yeah,
this aspect, I'm not sure it's down to the players. It has to be down to the coaching staff, because Xavi is playing at very beautiful tiki-taka football, right? But what happened the match, the Clasico, it was reminiscent of exactly how the match went down between Barca and Inter. The littlest space, Inter threw on goal. Just within a space of a few seconds, over the 2 games, they were like that. So, and a Clasico came, and it was still the same. And you can't mess with Vini, mess with Benzema, mess with Rodrigo and not expect them to score goals.
It's bad enough you have that. Then in the middle of the park, you're dealing with Modric, you're dealing with Cruz, you're dealing with Camavinga if he's on, you're dealing with Tchouaméni if he is on. It is just...
we have been talking about Rodrigo. We've forgotten the main man right now, Federico Valverde.
I can't believe I missed him out. Man is enjoying, I think, 2 goals, 3 goals or so in 4 games.
Yeah,
and that's quite...
He has 6 goals now in the La Liga.
And that's quite very
I think he's trying to help out, what's his name? Don Carlo, because prior to the season starting, Don Carlo was like, Federico Valverde, if you don't score 10 goals, I'm going to leave my job and I'm going to go and submit my license as a coach. So my man was like, oh, I think he's going to get the 10 goals. He doesn't want me to leave my job. So yeah, it's a very, very good one for Real Madrid as a team. The amount of talents they have, it's frightening to an extent. And
you should be worried as an opponent.
Look at who is in goal for them. Lunin. I've known Lunin since I can remember, like. And he's been at Madrid all this while, biding his time.
Just waiting. And it's very interesting how much... we have to give credit to Elche there. They were unable to get a goal courtesy of the brilliance of Lunin.
Exactly.
And it's very interesting to know that this fella is just 23 years old and so much maturity.
He has to be matured, because I just say I've known Lunin for like 6 years at the least. And I feel like... This man don't tell. This man don't. I felt he was a
older, you know.
And I was surprised. 23. This is the perfect replacement for Thibaut Courtois when he ended up leaving what's his name? Real Madrid. So their future, like the goalkeeping aspect of
it's sorted. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, away from that Elche Techno Real, let's do a switch now, should we say it now, to the EPL, where we had some very interesting games. Some ended in a goalless draw. Some, both parties sharing the spoils. But we also had some where you had the victor and the vanquished, as it were. Let's start with Crystal Palace taking on Wolves. I mean, not yesterday games, but midweek games in the EPL. We had Palace getting the better of Wolverhampton Wanderers, and it's very interesting to know that Wolves got their first away goal of the season courtesy Adama Traore. That was not enough to get them maximum points though, because of the brilliance of Eberechi Eze and Wilfred Zaha, 2 goals for Crystal Palace. And your thoughts on that game, considering how both teams are trying to keep as much space between themselves and the relegation zone?
Yeah, it was feisty enough. Wolves came, how would I put it, they came out on the losing end. Not for the lack of trying. They did well, if you ask me, to an extent. Diego Costa was wasteful on like 2 occasions where you could have easily. Diego Costa, we know,
him to bury
would have
that.
buried it. So it was just unnecessarily caressing the ball, bro. Hit the ball. That was a goal. But kudos to Crystal Palace. Kudos to
Brighton.
No, I'm talking about their manager, Patrick Vieira. Like, his boys were behind for the break. At the break, they were behind. Just as the second half started. Beautiful goal from Eberechi Eze. All kudos to Mikel Olise with the swinger.
Beauty of a cross.
Yeah, and then Zaha came up with the goods after great play from Martin Edward to make it 2-1. And from then they didn't look back. They sealed the game like that. Guetta came up with some nice saves to prevent Wolves leveling, but it is not even I feel they deserved 3 points. Crystal Palace deserved 3 points at Selhurst Park, and it's a good one for them. All their wins this season have been at the Selhurst Park, so
very interesting there. And Palace have leapfrogged their way to 10th place right now, 13 points. They are tied on point with Bournemouth, while Wolves are still in that relegation battle. They are seated 18th on the log, 9 points they have, and at this point you should be saying that something has got to change for Lads' men right there.
But they should be easy. No, Lads has been fired. No,
why am I thinking that the man still has his job? Apparently doesn't. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to be happening there. I mean, we do hear that Wolves are looking to get their former manager.
Yeah, Espirito Santo, and actually looking to get the manager of QPR at the moment. But he's saying he doesn't want to leave his boys. He doesn't want to leave his team. So I think they're still job hunting. I could call it job hunting. They are still coach hunting. For the position. But they should be having a little bit easier game. They face Leicester next week, and it's not supposed to be easy
this weekend. So it's going to be quite a game. But I mean, Leicester have been. Yeah,
18 and
exactly.
20.
That explains how Leicester have been. Let's talk about another Tuesday game, talking about Brighton taking on Nottingham Forest. Forest finally keeping a clean sheet. That has to be important. It has to be quite the game, and it's very important to note as well that they had a clean sheet in both areas, so they did not score and they also did not have any shot on target over Brighton and over Albion. Brighton threw all they had at Nottingham Forest, and they were unable to get something out of that one. They got a point but not a goal. 19 shots in total, 7 shots on target. That says, I think that paints quite a very, very clear picture of the happenings in that particular game. I think, but at this point, I think it might not seem applaudable, but I think perhaps Forest are starting to get their acts together. If they can stifle, considering how much they've been packing in the goals, if they can finally stifle teams despite all they throw at them to score, they can finally try and shock that defense some way, somehow. Perhaps this might be the turning point for their season, don't you think?
Yeah, true. I was here saying a couple of weeks ago that Steve Cooper getting the extension from Miranikis was because Miranikis saw it the way it was meant to be seen, that the decline in form, the decline in their result, the way they have been getting all beat was due to them getting 23 players, as I've always called it, 23-man team. Getting 23 players was too much. So now they are gelling. If that English is correct, they are getting the angles of each other. This is where you are. This is where this is how we play. This is how we play. This is how we pass. This is how we defend. So it took their time. 10 games in, but we are seeing it. The previous match they were impressive too, and against Brighton, with Brighton and their firepower with Roberto Di Zerbi, they were able to stifle what Brighton was bringing to them, and they deserved the 1 point. I'm not going to argue about that. They deserved that 1 point. It was a glorious 1 point. But now they are going to be facing a very, very, very big test in their next game, because they face Liverpool next, and Brighton face Man City too next. So I
don't know why I do that look, but expect goals.
Yeah, there should be goals. There should be goals.
But it's very interesting for us, and this just might be the turning point they need. But it's just that for them to build momentum, considering the kind of opposition they face next, it's going to be quite the ask. But let's see if Steve Cooper's boys will be able to get something out of this one. So 0-0 it ended at the Amex. Away from that, let's talk about the actions yesterday. Let's start with Bournemouth taking on Southampton. Bournemouth 0, Southampton 1. Che Adams, the man who got the goal quite early on in that game, 9 minutes in, and that was it. Settled. 3 points finally for Arsenal's boys. I said finally because of the run of form. Southampton have had, this is their first win in 5, so it's quite massive. It's quite a 3 point, and it's also very, very exciting that they finally kept a clean sheet. Yeah,
first clean sheet of the season. I was here talking about how I'm surprised Rafa Hasen not to be still the manager of Southampton, because his boys have always underperformed. Like,
by always.
Yeah, every season.
What has the board done in investment? So I think they're just fine where they are.
I know to an extent. I'm not going to argue. But if the board is not improving, but you have these players, this caliber of players, you have had them for like 3 seasons at the least. You are meant to have improved how much they play. You are meant to have improved their output. That is how we know a good manager. Even if they spend just £5 million on your team, but that £5 million is getting the person you want. Over the course of 2 seasons at the least, we are meant to have seen improvement. Tell me the improvement you have seen with Southampton. Almost nothing. And the fact that Che Adams scored at the 90 minutes was very, very comical, if you understand. 90 minutes, the 9-0 team. I'm sorry, Southampton.
We need, so I can't keep on doing this. There is just what is this about? No, talk to me. What do you stand to gain from all of this? But
it's just the honest truth.
But I didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
They should be doing way much. Like, this is. Well, I'm not the owner of Southampton. If I was the owner of Southampton, I'll be questioning him. Okay, we're not investing in your team, fine, but we are seeing money from Premier League rights, right? TV rights. So at least.
But I mean, Southampton have cemented their spot as that mid-table side. So I think they're quite comfortable.
Are you sure their spot is cemented this season?
I think by hook, crook, or some way, somehow, I think they're going to get themselves in top 10. I don't know. I expect to see them in the top 10.
I'm not sure about
Max, even though I don't expect to see them in a relegation battle, as it were. I don't think I'm going to see them there.
I won't
But
be surprised.
it's
If
going to be quite
not for
interesting.
Leicester having one hell of a season right now, they should be the one there.
But they are not there.
That's what I'm just
So
saying.
shout out to Ralph Arsenal too, right there. Man still has his job. I don't know if Baba wants to take his job, but
I'm not taking his job. I just want him to do better. I want the best for him. The man with the gloves.
You're far too kind. All right, away from that, let's go to Liverpool taking on West Ham United last night. Darwin Núñez getting his first goal at home. That is his first goal at Anfield. And it was quite the goal, exciting one to beat Fabianski. A beautiful header right there. A little bit of stats. Let's take a look at that. 22 shots on target, 22 shots in total. Liverpool had 7 shots on target, which is not good enough in my opinion. West Ham United having 8 shots in total and 3 on target, and they did cause Liverpool some problems with that 3 they had on target. We had the clearance of James Milner. There was a save penalty, and there was a save also from Alisson. So, and then on the other side, Liverpool having 1 out of their 7 on target. They did test Fabianski, yes, he came to the party, absolutely. But one can argue that Liverpool did not do enough, considering how much chances they were able to create.
Yeah, we're not clinical. I said Liverpool were not clinical enough.
We know what side of the divide is sit, so it's fine.
I want to be objective here. And I think we are going back online now.
Welcome back. It is still football analysis on SEETV. We're talking about Liverpool taking on West Ham, and it was quite a game for the Reds, and the Hammers were unable to get anything at Anfield. And it also stretches Jurgen Klopp's record over David Moyes. David Moyes is yet to get a win at Anfield, even while he was the coach at Everton for quite a while. He's not gotten any. He's beating Klopp, but yeah, not at Anfield. The record still continues. So, very interesting one right there. Liverpool have leapfrogged their way to 7th spot, 16 points they have from 10 games played, and one can say that it seems like the season has finally started for the Reds.
Yeah, true. Like the scoring. No, I won't say the scoring boots to an extent. I'll just say the form boots has been rediscovered, and we look good. This is 4 games on the trot without a loss. So it's the 4 games, 3 games
across all competitions.
So it's looking good. And all 3 games are wins. So it's looking very, very, very good for them. And the record they extended in the Premier League at Anfield was 29 games unbeaten at Anfield after they lost to Fulham. Was it Watford? They beat them in the Premier League. I think it was Watford. Either Watford or Fulham. 29 games unbeaten now. Virgil van Dijk 17 games without a defeat at home. 70 Premier League games, let's say, without a defeat at home. Like something. If your number 4 fits, what you do?
I mean, it's very, very impressive. Talking about, how long he's been with Liverpool? 2018, 18, 19, 17, 18 season since he joined in 18, 17, 18 season, 18, 19, 19, 20. It's very excited, and I'm sure the big ready to defend his record right there at home. Away from that one, let's go over to Brentford taking on Chelsea. That had it was a goalless draw. Both parties settling for a point. And we have to talk about the brilliance of Kepa Arrizabalaga. And this man got his shirt back and was like, I'm not dropping this one. I will continue in this stead. And shout out to him because Brentford did throw quite a bit at Chelsea, but he was capable and he was up to the task and he was able to get a clean sheet.
Yeah, just transcend this form. The match against Aston Villa, same to this one, because against Aston Villa I was like, oh, this guy's from another planet right now. And same thing he put off against the Brentford yesterday. It was more than amazing. He had there was one that was so clear cut. I was like,
goal.
Then what? I said it. Kepa is looking at the World Cup. I'm like, no. Unai Simon is number 1. I'm going to be number 2. Not even David De Gea. I want to be number 2 choice. And I love the competition. I love the competition at both Chelsea and at Spain, because Chelsea, Mendy will be looking like, bro, they brought me to come and replace you now. They brought me to come and replace you. How are you not replacing me just like I was injured for it? Bro, that's what it is. It's football. You snooze,
you lose.
Straight up.
And shout out to Brentford. And they might feel a bit outdone, but it's not easy taking on Chelsea.
They should have done better, though. They were not really clinical. They were not really clean. Buemo and Anthony, they could have done better with their headers. But
shout out to Kepa. It was the man between the sticks for Chelsea, and he gave them quite a bit of problems. Chelsea, on the other hand, we can argue that they were
not Chelsea that night. They were just
they were lackluster.
The only meaningful attempt they had was up to the 94th minute. Like, hello.
There was an attempt earlier in the first half. Amanda Breyer.
Yeah,
he could have gotten something, but that just fluffed and just went off the line like this.
So that was just not even it. And I think the attempt that was on target that I saw was Kani Chukwuemeka, and that was like 94th minutes. Come on, you guys could have done better. You're facing. No.
Brentford, shout out to them.
Frank,
absolutely,
Brentford, they are not easy to beat.
Absolutely, and we also have to mention that the new man for Chelsea is not so new anymore. Talking about Graham Potter, easier to get a defeat as the coach of Chelsea. So the record continues.
And he's yet to concede the Premier League goal.
So which is quite excited.
Yeah, I feel that record is going to be very, 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 very shaky, and it's going to be tested a whole lot when it comes to by the weekend they face Manchester United. Yeah, and it's going to be sweet.
Love it.
I don't want 0-0, and I don't want one person to score, another person not to score. No, get goals.
Okay.
I'll
call Potter after the show ends. Yeah, he's good. He has to pick my call.
Yeah. So you have Potter's number now.
I do. Oh, I think I do. Alrighty. Newcastle taking on Everton. And Eddie Howe's boys have been getting the results that they wanted. 1-0 they played Everton. They outplayed Everton, we should say. The 1-0 scoreline might not exactly paint how good a game it was at the St. James's Park. For the home side, Miguel Almiron scoring a belter of a goal in 30th minute. And a quick look at the start, 16 shots in total for Newcastle, 4 on target for them. And Everton, on the other hand, had 1 shot in total for 90 plus minutes, I should mention, and no shots on target. Oh. And there, if you ask me, now who I go ask. Newcastle have leapfrogged their way to 6th spot right there. They have 18 points, and it's also very exciting and interesting to know that after their defeat to Liverpool 2-1 a couple of weeks ago, they are yet to lose a game. So.
Yeah, and the defeat to Liverpool was so late. The goal came at the 96th, 97th minute thereabouts. Broke their hearts, deservedly to an extent, because they were meant to lose that game. They were meant to lose that game. But Eddie Howe has turned things around at Newcastle, and he's looking all nice. They have stopped playing anyhow. They're not playing the Eddie Howe style, and it's all nice. It's good. I still wonder though, like, they are playing this good, they're scoring goals, they are keeping it tight, and they are still without their star man Alexander Isak. The only person that has been shining I can't say the only person, all of them has been shining, but the singular person I can pick out right there is
Miguel Almiron.
Bruno Guimaraes, have you seen that boy?
He's been having a good time. He was missing in action Manchester United. I didn't see him.
Missing in action against Manchester United.
I didn't see him against United.
He was pulling the strings.
He didn't have the spark that he came into that game with.
They did. To an extent, yeah. I'm not going to put the whole blame on Miguel.
I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying he did not.
And when Casemiro did, he easy.
Okay, well, there is that though. But hey, talking about him, Bruno has been quite exciting. Very much. He's been dropping in the numbers. Is how much influence he has in that middle. Yeah. And for the outside, it's an absolute boost. You're losing your big man up top, but you're having almost everyone in every department chipping in, getting necessary goals, being a thorn in the flesh of your opposition, and that's got to be massive. Massive.
Everyone is getting goals. Miguel Almiron, Kieran Trippier to an extent. Callum Wilson too. Joe Willock, I've not seen him in this season. Bad luck, I don't know, but it's going to come good. Bruno, like we've said. But the thing now is, here I am talking about Almiron, Alexander Isak being their star man, missing out. I've not talked about Maximin too. It has not been that thing. These guys are players.
Out injured, actually. So.
For Joel Linton to even sacrifice his spot as a striker, he's now a midfielder, or is officially a midfielder for Newcastle. He doesn't play up top anymore. So that means if they are lacking goals upward, send Joel Linton in. You should do something though.
Right, and it's very interesting. Let's also mention the fact that Newcastle have conceded 9 goals all season, and they have 18. They've scored 18, and they were ended their first defeat of the season, courtesy that 1-2-1 loss to Liverpool. For Everton, on the other hand, let's take a look at what they have been doing. The goals seem to have dried up for Everton, and they have now been handed their 3rd defeat in a row. So 3 back-to-back losses. They have scored 8 goals and have conceded 12, and have been handed 5 defeats as it stands out of 11 games played. So not the best of time for Frank Lampard's side, but one boost we have to mention has to be the return of Dominic Calvert-Lewin back in the side, and this has got to give them some much needed motivation.
Right? Yeah, I feel so too. But I didn't see reason for him starting and playing up to that as long as he could, because he could have had the relapse. We have seen Dominic Calvert-Lewin last in the Premier League for almost a season. We didn't see him at all because of injuries. So now he's back. Don't rush him in. Take your time. Beat your time. I felt if they had started someone else up top like Anthony Gordon or I've forgotten the other striker's name, they could have easily gotten a goal or at least create chances. That they were just one shot coming from Demarai Gray, and it was, I can't call it off target, it was off stadium.
It wasn't going anywhere. And we're talking about Everton now. I'm kind of worried on their behalf with how lackluster they were over the weekend. Coming in this game, that same energy, what is going on really? And a few weeks ago we were talking about how great a start to the season Alexis will be having, but even when he does lay the pass, even though when he does make create the chances and all of that, up top you just seem to exactly. And talking about Demarai Gray, he can do better. Gordon as well can do better, most definitely. I think perhaps everyone in that side needs to do better, as it were. And I kind of feel bad for Pickford because it's not for lack of his brilliance, actually. He's been keeping Everton in, considering how much saves he's been making, but it's just not enough, considering that they are not able to, finish up their own chances on the other end. So let's see if they'll be able to change the story of their season, if they'll be turning it around. Away from that one, let's move over now to the Old Trafford, where we had arguably the biggest game of the midweek. Manchester United taking on Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs going on into this game after their loss to Arsenal have picked up and they've been getting the goods, but they were unable to get that over Erik ten Hag's side. 2-0 ended in favour of Manchester United. Fred, the goal scorer, and Bruno Fernandes finally opening his goal scoring chart for the season. Shout out to United. Good job, great work, got maximum points. On the other side, though, this is the third time we've seen Tottenham Hotspur against the big sides, 3 times and 3 times toothless.
See, you just said it. That was the word I was calling out, my toothless. Like, hello, where are you guys? Where is Son? Where is Kane? Where is
Kulusevski?
Where is Perisic? Where is everybody? They went missing. It was like the game against Chelsea. They got 2 goals, but Chelsea deserved the win. Chelsea deserved that win 100%, right? Okay, they were lucky to get a point of Chelsea. Then Arsenal beat them deservedly. The only thing that they were unlucky about in that game was Emerson Royal getting sent off. But that 3-1 defeat was deserved. So now against Manchester United should have easily beat those people like 6-5-0. Because how would Antonio Conte have players like that? And him himself, you are a manager of great pedigree. Yes, he has won a whole lot of league titles, and not just one team, 3 different teams. And
he's been quite successful at that.
Very
across
successful.
Different leagues.
Yeah. So how aren't you translating that to the Premier League with Tottenham? You've been okay. You are trying. You are third on the table, but show your onions when you face
the big
boys. You face Arsenal.
Against Chelsea, they were not there. They didn't come to the party
at all.
Against Arsenal, same thing.
Those 2 they even tried. Those 2 combined, they even tried compared to what they did yesterday. They were non-existent to an extent. Let's
take a look at the lineup. Let's see the personnel for both sides. For the home side, talking about Manchester United, you had David De Gea in goal, Dalot, Varane, and Martinez and Luke Shaw making up a 4-man back line. In the middle of the pack, you had Casemiro and Fred partnering there. Anthony, Bruno Fernandes, and Jadon Sancho making up a 3-man forward, and then Marcus Rashford played as the striker. For Tottenham Hotspur, you had Hugo Lloris in goal, Ben Davies, Eric Dyer, and Romero making up a 3-man back line. A 5-man midfield, Antonio Conte employed Perisic, Højbjerg, Bissouma, Bentancur, and Doherty making up that the 5-man midfield, and yes, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane making up the 2-man forward line. So looking at this, it wasn't for lack of personnel. It wasn't because they were injury stricken or anything like that. It was just because they were unable to, perhaps, would I say, take the fight to United?
I don't know.
They just didn't come to the party.
I don't know. Are they scared of the big boys? I can't really, I don't even know. Because prior to the match, Antonio Conte was like, Manchester United did not beat us last season.
They lost to Ronaldo.
Because he got an hat-trick to beat them. So, okay, Erik ten Hag was like, oh, Ronaldo, they bench. Okay, Ronaldo was on the bench, right? You are facing Manchester United without Ronaldo. So, if Ronaldo was on that beat you last time, and Ronaldo is off the team, what should you do? Get revenge, beat these people. But no, nothing.
And the only saving grace we have to mention as for Tottenham Hotspur has got to be the man in between the sticks, talking about Hugo Lloris. He was able to reduce how much damage United perhaps would have done scoring that one, because United had 10 shots on target as compared to 2 shots on target for Tottenham, and 9 in total for Tottenham and 28 in total for Manchester United.
That's the highest number this season for Manchester United.
Which is quite exciting for Erik ten Hag, and finally perhaps his team is starting to show I think what he wants. Because, I mean, you saw ten Hag, Ajax I saw
Yeah.
Ten Hag Ajax.
Yeah.
And if
Sure,
you allow
ball-playing
them,
style of
they're
football.
going to score 14 goals. Just
Yeah.
let them open it. Open the floodgates.
Where they just need is your 18-yard box and the midfield line. That line, their own defense is almost matters nothing to them.
They don't
They
mind.
care.
They don't
If
mind
you want to
conceding.
score, you
It's fine,
score.
we'll
You want to
score.
score one, you want to score 6. That is how Ajax. That is how we know how Eric Ten Hag to play. So
Yeah.
now he's under a new club. He's with a new club,
New league,
players,
new system.
and new situations. Because we had one just after the game, Cristiano Ronaldo situation.
Yeah, you took that right out of my mouth. And while the game was on, just in case if you did not catch the game, while the game was on, about 80. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Cristiano Ronaldo started warming up, and I think we have to say that has to be the instruction of the manager, even though we did not hear the conversation. But he went to warm up, and perhaps from the instruction of Eric Ten Hag or someone else in the coaching staff, and he warmed up, but he wasn't brought on. Instead, it was Elanga, Anthony Elanga, that came on, and that led to Cristiano Ronaldo storming off. He didn't just go off of the field, though. He actually stormed off of Old Trafford, like he left totally. And quite a lot of reactions, quite a lot of comments, and from both sides, back and forth. Not from the manager and not from Cristiano, I should mention, just for fans that have been talking and just trying to understand what perhaps was going on in the dressing room. So now I should ask you your thoughts on the entire situation.
As much as I love Cristiano Ronaldo, what he did was extremely unprofessional. That's the truth has to be said. What he did was extremely unprofessional. I don't care if the manager has told you to warm up after the second minute of the match and he still does not put you in. Even if you are facing Barrows FC or you are facing Yeovil Town, I don't mind. I don't care. The manager is the manager. He's like he owns you to an extent, right, during a game. So, Cristiano Ronaldo, please go warm up. We need your services in the second half. You warmed up. You are not the manager. The manager knows what he's seeing in the game. You might be like, I don't need Ronaldo here anymore. We have 2 goals, probably shock the space. But Ronaldo, don't worry. Elanga coming. Even if you are angry, even if you are annoyed that you are, as a star man that you are not being played. You were just told to warm up. You see, he's to an extent, he's not showing the professionalism you have known him to have had all this while. There are things that are not meant to happen. That one of them is storming off the pitch before the game ends, before the match ends. You're not just going to the dressing room, straight up to your house. I don't even know where you went to. But that means you are not showing respect to the manager, to your teammates, or to the Old Trafford Theatre of Dreams itself. I don't care if you are a goat or you are a malu. I don't care. You should be doing better.
And that I'm not going to stand for. No.
No
disrespect to Oro in this place.
I'm going to slander him for this. As much as I am a Serie 7 person. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I'm a Serie 7 person. That is how much I love that guy. There are some things you should not do, bro. If you are angry with Eric Ten Hag for what he did, let the game finish. Shake everybody. Ignore Eric Ten Hag. We would know you are angry with Eric Ten Hag. You're angry with everybody, including the fans.
Which, unfortunately, I think it could have handled that better. But that's how we ended Manchester United getting maximum points in that one. And they look to fight another day over the weekend to take on Chelsea. And that's going to be one game to see.
Imagine Eric Ten Hag was keeping him to like, okay, let me get you fresh. Don't let me get you injured. I want to start you against Chelsea.
We don't know.
If I was Eric Ten Hag, I'm not starting him again.
But you can't bring emotions into it. You need
no,
the
it's
best.
not, yeah.
You need the best boys to get the points.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if they eventually lose, no one's going to say Cristiano Ronaldo.
The best boys that are inclined with the team. He was not acting as a team member. That's what the truth.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if he's going to be employed in the next game. Let's take it out. So for Arsenal and Manchester City, they had their game postponed due to Arsenal's PSG game in the UEFA Europa League against Paris PSV Eindhoven. So City are going to be resting during this period, but they're going to be playing over the week. And a quick look, let's quickly mention the games we're going to be expecting this evening. Fulham taking on Aston Villa today. Leicester City taking on Leeds United as well. And for the La Liga, Barcelona will be in action taking on Villarreal this evening and all of that stuff. So let's quickly and sharply get ourselves out of the studio. We hope you had as much fun as we did hanging with you, and make sure to keep the conversation going across our different social media platforms. On Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, we're there, SEETV Live, and on Instagram and TikTok, we're there, SEETV Live 1. From myself and Izzy Baba, we're saying adios. I felt my own hand. I did. Adios and bye for now.
Bye, guys.